Welcome to Live Breathe Yoga, a show dedicated to inspiring your practice and elevating your mind, body, and soul. Today on Case Study, we welcome back Karla Gomez de la Peña to learn about how to detox using Ayurvedic practices. Coming up later in the show, get your mats ready for Strike a Pose, where we discover how to connect with a patient practice. Don't forget to stay tuned for Yoga Bites, where we share our recipe of the day. We have a great show in store for you today, so stay connected for more Live, Breathe Yoga. Mudra is the Sanskrit word for gesture and is used to deepen your awareness and concentration during your practice. It can involve a combination of asana, also known as postures, breathing techniques, locks, and visualization, or it can be as simple as a change in hand position. Agya means command. It is a sixth chakra and is also known as the third eye chakra. With your hands in front of your sternum, touch the pads of your middle fingers as they point upward. Allow the other fingers to touch at the first bend. This mudra will open your wisdom and intuition chakra. Have you ever tried a detox before? Maybe you've read something online and just gave it a try. Did you really feel that you were getting the benefits of it? Well, I have Karla Gomez de la Peña back from Montreal, and she's going to join us to talk about safe ways to practice detoxing. Hi, Karla. Thanks for being with us today.
Hi, Kaye. Thanks for having me here today.
So tell us, what is detoxing?
Detoxing is an internal cleansing that we do at every change of season. This is meant to help clear the channels and also remove toxins from our systems that may have accumulated from over the previous season. The point in doing all of this is to really kind of start fresh every season. We would do three things. We would prep our cleanse, do the cleanse, and then post-cleanse. So prepping would be to try and help avoid eating any kind of toxic food that would be more like anything that's packaged or has a lot of pesticides or chemical additives in it. Also, you might want to think about removing any alcohol, coffee, and if you smoke, this would be a good time to really slow down or bite the bullet and quit. Then we would do the cleansing part, so that's going to come up a little bit later. And then we would do post, which would be then slowly reintroducing food into your diet and checking to see maybe if you have any sensitivities to food. This would be a good time to notice. And then we would also write right. So when we say right, it's because our fat is lipophilic and there is a lot of toxins and emotional toxins that stay in our fat. So when we do cleanse, sometimes we lose fat. And when we lose fat, we also can maybe bring up all these emotions. So this would be something that you want to do afterwards.
So is there a safe way to practice a detox?
So yes, there are some unsafe practices for detoxing. And first of all, I think that there's a lot of misconception about what a detoxing is. Oftentimes there are some that are based solely on losing weight. And those are usually like a high effort, low nutrient, low calorie kind of recipes or things to do that are very quick. So most often than not, people that do that will quickly regain their weight afterwards. And really, a detox isn't necessarily just for that. A detox is really to kind of cleanse those channels in your body that can give you, reset your body at the spring and at the fall so that you can avoid seasonal ailments.
What would you consider unsafe about detoxing?
So it's more of the unsafe practices are things that are often really quick and maybe not so natural, not really supportive to the body, and instead it's kind of like a quick fix that doesn't really leave you feeling great, where sometimes you can suffer from headaches or fatigue, insomnia, sometimes even feeling nauseous. So this kind of takes away from the process, right? Because it's supposed to be a natural process where we're really kind of it shouldn't be difficult. Of course, we are going to be denying ourselves, if you like your morning coffee, then, you won't be doing that for maybe 3 to 5 day or 7 day period. You can do a cleanse that's much longer than that for sure. But, we have a hectic lifestyle in here in North America. So if you're looking for something that's going to just give you a little bit of a cleanse, a little bit of a kick, then that would be great. From a 3-day cleanse to a 7-day cleanse is amazing. And so, yeah, if you're going to be avoiding the coffee, then, you might go through some withdrawal symptoms. But that's why we would do the prep before. So definitely there are a lot of unsafe practices out there, but just keep it as natural as possible and stressful and anxiety-free as possible.
In terms of Ayurveda, is there a way to detox to balance out your doshas?
So actually, this is the whole point of an Ayurvedic detox, is to balance your Vata, Pitta, and Kapha out. An Ayurvedic detox is really meant to calm the mind, as well as remove the toxins from your digestive tract, help stoke your digestive fire, which is your Agni, which in turn will then help you with your natural immunity and really let the body get back in tune with itself and help it with its natural defense mechanisms and prepare yourself for everything that might be coming your way. It is also very grounding. The practice of the detox is not only what you're eating, it's also the practices you're going to be doing surrounding your meals. So you will be eating a 3-meal a day regimen, but there are things to do in the morning and there are things to do at night that will actually help to ground you more. So it will help to balance your Kapha, it will help to balance your Vata, and it will also help to balance your Pitta. The food in itself is amazing and it's actually quite tasty. So it's not something you're going to be denying yourself. And in the process, you will feel some really deep and profound changes that come from a very simple practice. So once you do the first time, it's nothing to be really scared about, and you can actually do it by yourself the second time around. So it's really interesting and it's confidence boosting. And you'll see the changes in your body and you'll be able to identify a lot of things that are happening and perhaps have a bit of a smarter intelligence or feel for your own body. So yeah, for sure it'll balance your Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And it all depends on the ratios that you have individually. So everything is really personal, right?
For someone who's never detoxed before, do you recommend a specific style or a specific technique?
Okay, so for someone who's never detoxed before, I would totally recommend the Ayurvedic style, just because it's one of the most comprehensive of all the detox styles, I find, as it is a holistic approach. It's going to help you physically for sure. You'll be hopefully shedding some pounds if that's your goal, and also cleansing your body, removing the toxins from your channels and helping your Agni get strong, able to fight off any kind of seasonal ailments that might be coming along. At the same time, it's actually really interesting because it helps calm down the nervous system because it is a mono diet. What else can I tell you? I think it's really an amazing approach. It's really not about starving yourself. It's not really about omitting things, as opposed to, you're obviously not going to be having chocolate bars and coffee, so you gotta cut those things out for just a little bit. It's just a drop in the ocean, and then you can move forward with it and learn about yourself. That's it. Just keep in mind that we're all human and we all need to grow and we all need to learn about who we really are, keeping our own energy intact and letting go of everyone else's. So if this was informative for you, and I hope that it was, please let us know. Kaye and I will be there for you to help you as much as we can. Oh, one last thing I wanted to mention was that Kaye and I will be having a Yoga Veda in Toronto sometime soon, so keep your eyes and your ears open. Yoga Veda, if you don't know what it is a beautiful afternoon of Ayurveda, yoga, meditation, and all of it to the sweet sounds of Jojo Flores.
Thank you so much, Karla. Coming up after the break, Strike a pose, stay with us. Welcome back. In Strike a Pose, we share postures along with their modifications so you can practice safely at home and at the studio. We're gonna start with Warrior 1. We see this pose all the time. I'm gonna get the girls to face the top of their mat. From here, stepping back with your left foot, lunging into your right knee, draw your hands up above your head, shoulders away from your ears. And when you hear shoulders away from your ears, you wanna think of drawing your shoulder blades together down your back, and even maybe finding an external rotation of your upper arm. And that makes you find that a little bit, with a little more ease, even drawing your pinky fingers together, and then lunging into your front knee. Now, if you find, and I'm gonna have Feng demonstrate this, that maybe lunging in to this pose is a little bit too intense for you, you can actually take your back foot in slightly. And you can decrease that distance between your feet. And then you can see that she has lessened the angle in her front knee, which is fine as well. From here, as you reach your hands up to the sky, if you find that when reaching up to the sky, maybe there's a lot of intensity at your shoulders, you can find a little bit of a bend just so that you can find that pose, you can find ease in this pose. Again, you're gonna draw in your lower abdomen and shorten the distance between your lower rib cage and your pelvic bone. Now, Kate is demonstrating how this pose would look in an Ashtanga class. So your palms are together. Again, external rotation of your upper arm so that you can really draw those elbows nice and straight. Her gaze is up towards her thumbs, and then she's also gonna shorten the distance between her lower rib cage and her pelvic bone as she lunges into her right knee. One thing to keep in mind when you're lunging into your front knee is to make sure, if you were to take a quick peek down at your knee, you could still see your big toe. If you can't see your big toe, then you've lunged too deeply. You wanna draw that knee back. So now into their Warrior 2. They're reaching their fingertips forward and back. I have Kate demonstrating what this would look like if you can connect with this pose, if you have a little bit more availability to connect with the pose. You can see here that she's actively trying to rip the mat apart. So she's pressing her feet into the earth. She's lunging into her front leg, reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Her shoulders are nice and relaxed down her back, but yet she's still engaging her lower abdomen and lengthening to the top of her head. You want to actively open up that front knee to the wall behind you so that you're tracking your knee over your heel. And then with Feng, I'm going to have her demonstrate what this looks like if you have a little less availability in your hips. So she's going to heel toe her back foot in. And another thing that Feng can do is heel toe her left foot in so that her heel is in line with her arch. And that'll just give you a little bit of love for your hips rather. So she's reaching from fingertip to fingertip, shoulders away from your ears. She's still engaging her bandhas. And then I'm gonna show you what this commonly looks like. Sometimes when you get into your Warrior 2, sometimes your shoulders start to reach forward. This can happen. If you find that you're in this pose, think of somebody pulling on your fingertips to take you back, to keep your shoulders over your hips. And then gently from here, I'm gonna get the girls to demonstrate Exalted Warrior. So this is your reverse warrior. They're gonna take their right hand down to their leg, left hand up and over, reaching up and back. And you can see that this side of Feng is opening up beautifully. So she's gonna breathe into this side of her body. So you can feel the rib cage expanding and contracting. And I'm gonna have Kate demonstrate what this looks like if you're not able to come into this pose to the full expression, just so you wanna be safe with your body. So she's gonna heel toe her back foot in. And then instead of lunging into the front leg, she's gonna straighten out her front leg. And then you can see here, nice and safely, she's still able to open up this front of her body. She's gonna reach her chest up to the sky so she's not collapsing too much in her back. And then from here, I'm gonna get the girls to step forward to the top of their mat. And then step back with your left foot, preparing for a crescent lunge. So arms are up above your head, nice wide stance. You wanna raise your heel back high enough so that your heel is above the ball of your foot. Now from here, I'm gonna get the girls to step up into their front foot and prepare for Warrior 3. So as you step up into your right foot, preparing for your warrior three. So Kate's gonna come into it from the ground up. So she's rooting into all 3 points of her right foot, reaching her fingertips forward. There, you'll find sometimes in your practice that maybe you're a little bit wobbly in your supporting foot. What you can do is bend that knee, bring your center of gravity lower, and then slowly maybe bring yourself back up. You can take your fingertips to the earth. This can happen in a class, totally fine. This can happen at home. You can always come back to the pose. Now, if you're finding that maybe hinging at your hip this much, or maybe taking this back leg up as high as it is not as available to you, what you can do is kind of like a seesaw. You want to keep the line from your heel to your shoulders on the same plane. So essentially, you're going to start to take your left leg down and your shoulders up. Good? It's okay. And if there's a wall that you can use to support you, that's fine as well. You could try to work away from the wall, but good. So, and then when you're utilizing your supporting hip as your turning point, you can actually hinge and take your foot down to the ground if you find that you're falling out of the pose, if you find like you need to step out of the pose. So essentially, again, you're like a seesaw. So here's your center point, and you can go this way and this way. So we'll try that again, Feng. Take your hands up to the sky, and then hinging at your right hip. And you can see she's maintaining that same line from her shoulders down to her toes. And that's how you can connect with your warrior three. And you notice Kate was able to kind of listen to her body and switch it up because we were working on the opposite leg earlier. And Feng did use the wall. It happens. That's totally fine in a class, but try not to let your teacher see that. From here, I'm gonna get the girls to come back to stand. We're gonna wrap it up for this show. I wanna thank both Kate and Feng for joining me today. Coming up after the break, Yoga Bites. Stay with us. Namaste. Chatwari, meaning 4. Anytime smoothie. This delicious smoothie can be whipped together in less than 10 minutes. Drinking one of these always makes me feel refreshed and energized. And just like that, it's done. Hope you like it. If you have any feedback for the show, or maybe you've had a detox experience you'd like to share, or maybe there's a yoga posture you'd like for us to focus on and strike a pose, share it with me on my Facebook page at kaye.yoga. Thanks for watching. Stay connected next week for more Live, Breathe Yoga. Namaste.